It's like on 12 strings, each note, like regular string, it's like an octave, so it's like the lower octave and the higher octave too.
My name is Lila Dupont. I am a singer-songwriter currently based in Nashville, Tennessee. I've been making music, or at least releasing music, since I was around 17. My grandparents, when I was around 7, had gifted me this like super small keyboard because I was just getting into piano, and my mom had played piano, my grandma had played piano. And really quickly I started writing like full songs that I was making up. Growing up, my dad had just like the best music taste. Grew up on like Wilco, The Shins, Jack Johnson, so I was always listening to really great music growing up. I was deeply, deeply inspired by Gregory Alan Isaacof's work. I saw him when I was around 15 in Portland, Maine with my parents. And I was going through a really strange time emotionally. And I saw the show and Haley Hendrix was the opener. And I left sort of with the full intention of spending the rest of my life trying to do exactly what I had just seen, like Haley Hendrix and Gregory playing, because it was just, I could tell that they loved so much what they were doing on stage, and I was just so deeply inspired by it that my dad and I the next day pulled over on the side of the road and bought one of my first guitars, this place called I think it was like North Kingdom Music in Bangor, Maine. And yeah, that show kind of changed the trajectory of my life. Because I started writing when I was so young, it always felt like this thing that sort of just flew out of me. And it always almost felt like, I saw this interview of Lizzie McAlpine, and she was talking about how it almost feels like it's something else, like otherworldly, that comes down and like flows through you. And I find that so true. I've never had a moment after the age of 7 or 8 in my life where music hasn't felt important or like centric to who I am. I can sort of figure out, you know, introspectively, like what is going on in my head without even really knowing sometimes, by just having songs like flow out of me. Certainly, like I have moments where I'm sort of in a plateau or in a strange point in my career where I really don't feel like anything is happening for me. In those moments, of course, the doubt like slowly starts to creep in.
Actually, I'll do that one. Shows off my plucking.
I think having my dad be such an incredible inspiration to me as a visual artist, like he spent his entire life having to go through these like ebbs and flows in his career of having moments where it's like, this is exactly what I meant to do and it's going so insanely well for me, to, you know, months of like, oh my God, I haven't sold a piece, you know, what am I gonna do? But sticking with it the entire time, because, you know, as often as those lower moments come, like the awesome accomplishments will also come if you just sort of stay steady and stick with it, I guess. I feel like I have been searching for these like big, sort of huge breakout, blowout, whatever moments in my career. And I always thought that like if you don't have those moments, you can't be a musician, which is like total baloney. I just released the first single off of my first album. I spent really the last year trying to find the right songs for the record and finished recording it out in Colorado back in February. And that is going to be coming out next winter, but I'll really just be releasing like many singles over the next few months to really give the project its best shot. I really, at the end of the day, couldn't see myself doing anything else. So even though it does feel at times sort of, I don't know, abstract and hard to sort of reach, it still feels better than doing something that I don't love just to sort of satisfy that, expectation.
Cool.